gentlemen, welcome here to the Leocourse Center on the campus of Temple University. We are just 2 days away from PBC on Fox, a big night of premier boxing champions action here in the city of brotherly love, as we have your very own Philadelphia's world champion, Julian J. Rock Williams, putting his world title on the line, his homecoming against the hard-hitting Jeison Rosario. Also, we have an excellent co-feature, as it features rising star Chris Primetime Colbert going head-to-head against the former champion Israel Corrales for the interim WBA Super Featherweight Championship of the World. To begin the Fox portion, we go live 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific time. We will have top super welterweight prospect Joey Spencer going head-to-head against Eric Spring in a 6-round matchup. Also, we will be live on FS1 before we hit the big Fox show, and that'll start off at 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific time, so make sure to get here early to the Leocourse Center, as it features sensational prospect, still in high school, Vito Malnicki Jr. from nearby in New Jersey. He has a matchup against Puerto Rican prospect. Also, we have Puerto Rican prospect Romelo Cruz, separate bouts, and also we have a matchup between Mexico's Jorge Cotto, fought for the world title, going head-to-head against Thomas Lamana. All of this is brought to you by TGB Promotions. Tickets are still available at Ticketmaster.com, or not Ticketmaster.com, LeoCourseCenter.com/events, or by calling 800-298-4200. So again, 800-298-4200. That is how you can get tickets. And this is Premier Boxing Champion's second time here at the Leocourse Center. We are here a few years ago. It's a wonderful venue. The fight fans in Philadelphia come out, and we are excited for Saturday night. Now let's meet the fighters that will be involved in the Fox portion, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific time. This man has a tall task, but he's no doubt prepared and ready to go. A native of Reading, Pennsylvania. We have been in Reading for a few times. Wonderful fight town as well. He's won 5 of his last 7 bouts. Brings in a record 13 wins, 3 losses, 2 draws, 1 win coming by way of knockout. He's in shape and ready to go. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Eric Spring.
How's everybody doing? Thank you. I want to thank my promotional team, Marshall Coleman at King's Promotion, and PBC coming together and put me in for this fight against Joey Spencer. A great opportunity, big opportunity for me. And Saturday comes, we're going to pull that upset. It's soon in, 8 o'clock.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much to Eric Spring, ladies and gentlemen. A round of applause for Eric Spring. Now let's meet his opponent. He had a very solid and a sensational 2019, and now begins 2020, most recently having halted Travis Gambardella back in September on FS1. In June, he stopped and he defeated Akeem Black, a 4-fight 2019 for Joey Spencer from Linden, Michigan. It's no secret that this man was one of the most highly touted young amateurs in the sport, but rather than try to prepare himself for the Olympics in 2020, or here in 2020 out in Tokyo, he decided to turn pro, and I think it is paying dividends as he now looks to crack the double-digit win mark. I know his family, his father is a devout trainer and loves his son. It's a wonderful tandem, his entire team. It's a family affair when you see the Spencers. They're very genuine, they're Midwest people, but their son, Joey Spencer, can fight like nobody's business, and he isn't even 20 years of age. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 2019 Prospect of the Year, according to Premier Boxing Champions. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the fast-rising Joey Spencer.
How's it going, everybody? I'm super excited to be here. I'm happy to be fighting on J-Rock's card and be on the card with so many great fighters. 2019 was a great year. I'm looking forward to getting my 10th win. 2020 is going to be even better. Been working hard all 2019. I'm looking forward to that paying off year this year. Having a real active year just like I did last year. thanks for everybody who's coming out. Looking forward to putting on an exciting performance Saturday night. So thanks again. Hope to see you guys at the fight.
Thank you very much to Joey Spencer. Also want to acknowledge TGB Promotions, who are the very hard-working. Brittany Goosen-Brown, Vice President of TGB Promotions, is around here somewhere, so want to acknowledge her and her father, Tom Brown, as well. Constantly working hard, putting on events all over the world. Our co-feature is for the WBA Interim Super Featherweight Championship of the World. And this is an excellent matchup. You have a former champion, Jeison Rosario, going head-to-head against a man who feels he's destined to become a world champion in Chris Colbert. But let's get into Jeison Rosario from Panama, 28 years of age, no stranger of going on the road in 2016, went to Japan and knocked out Takashi Uchiyama, had a very narrow split decision loss at the hands of the rising Ladarius Miller. Some people believe that Corrales should have been given the victory, but he brings in a terrific record, 23 wins, 9 of those by knockout, opposite just 3 defeats. He will no doubt be a very difficult test for Chris Colbert. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jeison Rosario.
Antes que nada, primero le quiero dar gracias a Dios primeramente por tenerme con vida y salud y con bastante ánimo para esta pelea.
You want to thank God for having good health.
Nada, me siento muy contento de estar aquí nuevamente en Estados Unidos al volver a pelear y nada, me siento motivado, con ganas de seguir adelante, con ganas de coronarme nuevamente campeón.
He's grateful to be here in the United States fighting.
Y nada, hemos hecho un buen campamento de boxeo. Le quiero dar gracias a mis entrenadores que siempre estuvieron conmigo. Lastimosamente no pudieron venir, pero me están apoyando desde Panamá, así que vamos para encima y primero Dios va a salir adelante.
He's got a good camp and he's sorry that his company didn't show up, but he's going forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much to Jeison Rosario, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's get an opportunity to meet his opponent. I have been fortunate to know this young man for probably 3 or 4 years, at least maybe even longer than that. You see his hair, he brings a flair inside the ring, outside the ring. He believes in himself. One thing about this young fighter, there is no shortage of self-belief. His entire team believes that he's destined to be a world champion, and I'll tell you why he has been and why he should be given the praise that he is. He has beaten 3 undefeated fighters and he's just 13-0. So 3 undefeated fighters he's handed that first blemish to, at least from what we have, maybe even 4, it might even be 4. Just 23 years of age from Brooklyn, New York. He loves his hometown of Brooklyn. He has a style all to himself. If you haven't seen, in my opinion, one of the knockouts of 2019, you've got to go on YouTube and check it out. He put away Miguel Beltran Jr. and knocked him unconscious. Thankfully, Beltran Jr. was okay, but it was unbelievable. And he told us he had something special for us, and lo and behold, he certainly did on that very evening. I expect nothing less of something spectacular. Also, his ring attire is something to behold. Last time that he fought, he had a tribute to Deion Sanders because his nickname is Primetime, similar to that of Deion Primetime Sanders as well. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome 13-0, 5 wins coming by way of knockout, representing Brooklyn, New York with his trainer Adriano Sosa. Here is Chris Primetime Colbert.
First of all, I'd like to thank God, thank my team, Al Heyman, my dad Sosa, the rest of my team. I work hard. This is just going to be another day. I tell everybody all the time, I'm one of the baddest young fighters out here, and I'm going to show that come Saturday night. This guy had a world championship before. He's not about to get it back fighting me, and I promise you that. I'm sending him back to Panama empty-handed. Saturday, I know I'm gonna bring the style, the flair, everything is gonna be there, and I'm gonna put on a dominant performance. And I will be the WBA interim world champion. Thank you.
Chris, primetime Colbert, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm excited to see his ring entrance because always something when it comes to how he enters the ring on Saturday night. Don't forget, we go live, BBC on Fox, this Saturday here at the Leah Corus Center on the campus of Temple University. 8 local time, 5 Pacific time tickets are still available. Make sure you get them now. They are going quickly. Now, let's get to the main event of the evening. This man, 19 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 13 wins coming by way of knockout. Born in the Dominican Republic, now fighting out of Miami. He's just 24 years of age. I met this man about 3 or 4 years ago, and he made his United States debut. It didn't go necessarily his way. He suffered a blemish, his only loss of his professional career, but he's rebounded in emphatic fashion as he's won 8 straight fights. He has taken down a slew of contenders and rising prospects, including the likes of Jamonte Clark, Justin Deloach, Mark Hernandez as well. All of those guys I just mentioned were either knocked down or finished by Jeison Rosario. Most recently picked up a decision victory over veteran contender Jorge Cota back in April. And incidentally, Cota will be on the FS1 portion against Thomas Lamana. But when talking about Jeison Rosario, Samson Lukowicz, who I think has such a keen eye for talent and is one of the best finders for talent, or talent scouts in boxing. And when he brought Jeison Rosario to the United States, when he told us, he goes, this kid can punch. He's known as the Banana, and Samson told me he gets his punching power based on the fact that he eats bananas. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but he certainly displays it in his fights. He's coming with everything to gain and essentially nothing to lose. And that makes him a very dangerous opponent. And no doubt, he realizes he's in this man's backyard and wants to make a statement and make his dream become a reality. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the hard-hitting contender from the Dominican Republic. Here is Jeison Rosario.
Hi, Philadelphia. Quiero dar las gracias primeramente a Dios, luego a mi equipo de trabajo. Quiero dar las gracias a mi manejador César Mercedes, mejor conocido como Manguita, mi promotor, Samson, a todas las personas que me apoyan de King of Boxing, Pain Boxing. Gracias a Julian Williams por la oportunidad.
First of all, I want to say thank you to Philadelphia, the city of Philadelphia, for hosting us here. Second, I want to say thank you to his manager, Cesar Mercedes, his promoter, Samson Lewinsky, his working team, Pain Boxing, for providing us a great camp house in Florida. And thank you to Julian Williams to giving the opportunity to fight for the world titles.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jeison Rosario, ladies and gentlemen, the contender who is looking to upset Julian Williams on Saturday night. Speaking of upsets, but this one actually went to the way of the liking of Philadelphia. Congratulations to the Temple basketball team for upsetting Wright State yesterday here at the Leah Corus Center, a 12-point win. Oh, whatever the case may be, but they picked up the win nonetheless. So let's talk about a man who knows how to win. Before we acknowledge the fighter, Stephen Edwards, the trainer, Julian Williams in the house. Let's give a round of applause if you can raise your hand. Stephen, I know that you don't want to go ahead and necessarily like the limelight, but he deserves his just due as well. Now let's talk about the champion. Last May, he went to the hometown and he defeated Jared Hurd, who at the time was the most dominant 154-pound champion in the division. And not only did this man go out there and beat him, but he beat him decisively. I thought it was one of the fights of the year in 2019. Not everyone will be Floyd Mayweather and have an undefeated record. And there are times where you suffer a loss as a prize fighter, but it's how you respond is how your legacy is determined. And this man has responded from his loss in tremendous fashion. Just continues to work and fight and train. He loves boxing. He's a student of the game, very humble. I think he said on Twitter, the only jewelry that he wears are the world titles, the gold around his waist. And that's so apropos because that just goes to show you the hunger and the desire. This man has made a good amount of money in his career, but he's all about legacy and establishing himself as one of the best in the super welterweight division and furthering his legacy. Ladies and gentlemen, Philadelphia should be very proud of their world champion as he continues in the long line of the history of this great fight town. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the super welterweight champion of the world, Julian J-Rock Williams.
First, I want to thank everybody for coming out. I want to thank Al Hammond. Of course, I want to thank Fox. I want to thank Philadelphia for backing me. It's going to be an exciting night of boxing. You know, I think this guy comes to fight, and I don't really have too much talking to do. You know, I'm going to let my hands do the speaking, and I'm preparing myself for a tough good fight. I'm preparing myself for a win, and I'm planning to do that on Saturday night. Thank you.
Julian Williams, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask the fighters a few questions as they prepare for their big matchups on Saturday. We'll start off to my left, Eric Spring. Eric, in your opinion, you know, when you look at your opponent, Joey Spencer, you're a big underdog. How much are you enjoying being the underdog and knowing that the odds, at least to the odds makers in Las Vegas, aren't in your favor?
I love it. It is what it is, but we prepared, had a solid camp. Everybody thinks I'm underdog, but I think I'm the big dog. When it comes Saturday, we're gonna see.
Joey, for you to my right, you were the prospect of the year in 2019 according to Premier Boxing Champions. As you continue in your career, the expectations are raised. Do you like having such high expectations and what they call pressure as you're not even 20 years of age?
Do I like it? I would say I don't have any pressure. You know, the only expectations I'm trying to keep are of my family and the man upstairs. You know, that's it. Other than that, I really don't care about expectation. Expectation or what people are expecting out of me. So I just go in there, I train hard year round, constantly, never take any breaks. So it's not even about a camp. It's just about training. We always train. And so I've worked hard. I'm ready to get in there and show up.
We hear in boxing a phrase that there are levels to this game. 2019 was a year where I thought we saw you start to transition from being a prospect to, you know, a fringe contender in many aspects. How much do you want to make 2020 a year to where you establish yourself to the rest of the division that you are a bona fide contender here in your weight class?
Well, I would say this is the year. You know, this is, I've worked very hard, like I said, throughout 2019 for this year to come in and be a contender by the end of this year. So I'm ready. You know, like you said, I went to that next level in my training and as a fighter and just my skill set. And we've worked on a lot of things. So this year is where I hope to shine and show what I've progressed on. And by the end of the year, be that contender.
Well, we're excited for Saturday night. Joey Spencer, Eric Spring. We'll get to the co-feature now. To my left, Jeison Rosario, we have the translator there. Jeison, Chris Colbert is a guy who is very quick. He's flashy inside the ring, outside the ring. Where do you feel you have the advantage inside the ring against the undefeated Chris Colbert?
Que tú tienes la advantage para ganarle.
creo que tengo todas las referencias necesarias para pelear con Colbert.
He said he has all the equipment to fight and beat him.
All right, thank you very much to Jeison Corrales. We'll get to Chris Colbert now to my right. Chris, always no shortage of words when it comes to you. Now that you're here to fight for a world title, and you aren't even in your mid-20s yet, how much does Saturday night mean to you?
Saturday night, like I said, it's just another day. I gotta go in there and do what I gotta do regardless, belt on the line or no belt on the line. I got a job to do, and that's to get the win. And to be honest, I don't feel there's nothing he can bring to the table that can stop me. Like you said, I bring the speed, I bring the power now. As y'all see, the power stepping in. I'm smart. Like, there's nothing that he gonna do that's gonna be able to stop me come Saturday night.
We all knew that you were quick and fast and had this tremendous boxing skill, pure boxing skill. But now your power is starting to resonate when it comes to knockouts and things along those lines. Where do you feel that change has happened, or is it just a natural evolution in your progression as a fighter?
To be honest, I feel like before I was just more about punching and moving. I was punching and moving at the same time. I always felt like I had some type of power, not that one punch knockout power, but I had some type of power because due to previous sparring, but it was before I was punching and moving at the same time. Now I'm sitting there and sitting on my punches a little bit more to try to make sure these guys respect me because they feel like I don't have no power, so I gotta go in there and show them what I got.
You love the limelight.
Love it.
Well, tell us about fighting on network television in front of millions of people before a place that's going to be packed. Obviously, you guys are going to set the table for the main event when this place is rocking on Saturday night here at the Leo Course Center.
To be honest, like you said, I love the lights. I love the lights. I used to play football before boxing, and I always wanted to be the star. You see the names that I picked: Primetime, B-Hop. Those are stars. And Primetime I'm gonna go out there and show the world why I call myself Primetime. On Saturday, I'm looking to steal the show. I know the main event will put on a hell of a fight, but I'm looking to steal the show, and that's what I'm gonna do come Saturday night.
Look forward to your matchup, Chris Colbert, ladies and gentlemen. Now we'll dive into the main event of the evening. Jeison Rosario against Julian J-Rock Williams for the Super Welterweight Championship of the World. Jeison, for you, coming to this man's backyard, what are your emotions going into this fight where you could totally change your life with the victory over Julian Williams?
Jason, ¿qué tú te sientes de venir en el patio del campeón? ¿Cuáles son tus emociones y cómo puede cambiar tu vida en una sola pelea?
Bueno, realmente me siento emocionado, me siento motivado. Para mí esto no es algo raro, verme en el patio de otro.
He said he feel great, he feel comfortable, he feel no pressure. He's very motivated, and it's nothing new for him to come in anybody's backyard. He never fought in his home country yet, so it's nothing new for him to come in anybody's backyard.
How much does he enjoy the prospect, and how much has he grown as a fighter since making his United States debut? I mentioned how I met him a few years ago. He made his U.S. debut, to my knowledge, in Las Vegas back in 2017. But how much has he grown as a fighter and evolving here by fighting in the United States?
Desde que tú viniste primera vez en Estados Unidos, ¿cómo tú piensas que tú has crecido como peleador desde la primera pelea en el 2017, donde él te conoció, hasta este momento? ¿Cómo tú has crecido como peleador desde que estás peleando en Estados Unidos?
Bueno, realmente en el 2017 comenzó una nueva etapa en mi carrera. Fue cuando conocí la derrota. Desde ese momento, cada vez que entreno trato de aprender algo nuevo en cada pelea.
He said 2016-17 when he had his first defeat, actually when his career he really started, that when he was in a different stage of his career, and every fight he learning better and better, and he actually, this is the first time he had done a full, truly training camp for a fight, so he's learning a lot. that he didn't have back then.
And what's his prediction for Saturday night against Julian Williams?
Para el sábado que viene, ¿cuál es tu predicción en la pelea?
Primeramente, una gran guerra. Segundo, Dios que meta su mano porque van 2 soldados a la guerra y pasan cosas. Que Dios nos libre de cualquier lesión mayor.
He said, well, first he wanted to thank God and tell God that we both come out healthy and okay after the fight. But he's coming for war, you know what I mean? His mentality, he doesn't have no prediction. He knows he's coming for war to give his best. And at the end of the day, he will have his hand raised.
We'll look forward, Jeison Rosario. Good luck on Saturday night. Now to the champion, Julian J-Rock Williams, who defeated Jarrett Hurt back in May, making his homecoming. You haven't fought here in Philadelphia since 2011. Not only are you fighting here in Philadelphia, Julian, but you're a world champion. How special, we talked to you about a month ago, now that we are just 2 days away from you making your ring walk in front of your hometown fans, how significant is this moment for you, your family, and your career?
That's good. I think it's extremely significant to me, but to be honest with you, I'm so locked in on the fight, I haven't even thought about it. I'll probably think about it Monday morning, but I'm locked in on fighting. I don't want to get caught up too much of the cameras and the hype and the crowd and the people, you know what I mean? And even though I'm thankful that I'm blessed with this, to be in this position, to be able to bring my first world title fight, my first world title defense back to my city. I'm not thinking about it, I'm locked in on fighting.
Why? What makes, for those who don't know, we know about Philadelphia fighters being tough and smart and taking on all challengers. Where does that Philly toughness come from when it comes to prize fighters?
I don't know, there must be something in the water, man. It's just so many great champions come from here. I think we got like 30-something world champions. People think Philadelphia, think how big Pennsylvania is. Philadelphia is not that big. You know what I mean? We got 30-something world champions that come from Philadelphia. So I just think it's a long line of history. They come from here and they just keep getting passed down from generation to generation. And it keeps producing great fighters, and I just happen to be one of them. So
we've heard your name bantered around a lot over the past 6 months as being one of the top dogs in boxing. Yet, your mentality, at least from my perspective, is that you are hungrier now than what you were before you were world champion. Do you believe in that? And why do you have such hunger still now, even after you did what you did to Jarrett Hurt back in May of last year?
Basically, I just created new goals, you know. My goals has been since I was a little boy to be the champion of the world, whether it was welterweight or middleweight. I didn't know what I was going to be, but it was to be the champion of the world. I'm a champion of the world, so I said that and I created new goals. And I'm just as hungry as I was when I was 20 years old. And it's right there. Like I can see it now. You know what I mean? So I'm finally on the other side. I just want to keep it going and just become a great fighter.
And finally, on Saturday night, live on Fox, the Liacouras Center, your hometown, your first title defense of your world championships. What is a prediction? How's it going down live on Fox?
Well, I think he keeps saying we're going to have a war because he can't do nothing else with me. He can't. There's nothing he can do better than me inside of a boxing ring. He wants to have a war so he can give him a chance. But I'm coming to step on. I'm coming to dominate. You know, I come to win and come to dominate in spectacular fashion. So I'm looking to dominate, I'm coming to dominate. And I hear his coach say that they don't have nothing to lose. His coach don't have nothing to lose. He can lose his life over it. He lost 4 fighters last year. So I think that's a little ignorant for his coach to say. But come to find out, it's his first fight with him. He don't really care about it. Right. You know what I mean? So he don't have nothing, the coach don't have nothing to lose. He ain't taking no punches. Right. But then he can lose his life. So gotta think about that, coach.
All right, well, the table is set for BBC on Fox. Good luck to the fighters. We will pose them up for the ceremonial stare down. It is going going down this Saturday, 8 Eastern here at the Liacouras Center, live on Fox. Premier Boxing Champions brought to you by TGB Promotions. Philadelphia's own Julian Williams making his homecoming as he puts his world title on the line against Jeison Rosario. A sensational card. We'll pose the fighters off. We look forward to seeing you at the weigh-in and then at the fight on Saturday. Thank you very much.
Guys, gotta stay down.
Going down, Bobby.
Yeah, alright, guys. Alright, here, guys. Right here?
Right here, please.
Just happy to be here, man. Just happy to be here. Next time you stood. We're digging the cheesesteak was in the home.
That's how y'all going home.
That's something.
Right here, guys. Please look in the middle. Right
You
here.
get out of the way.
Sorry. Thank you, guys. Right here, please.
Everybody right here, please.
Right here, sir.
Hey, I need you right here.
Ahí, ese Vamos allá, amigo.
Excuse me. Alright, guys. Talk to that boy, man. Talk to that boy, man.
Right here, please. Right here, please.
Right here, please.
Right here. Right, sir.
Right here.
Right here in the middle.
Right here with the belt.
Guys, step back.
You don't even need to move. You're not winning this now.
Alright, both of you just hold it nicely and look right here, please. Thank you. Thank you.
Yo, coach, you want to make a bet?
Semi-final, bro.
No. You want to make a bet?